Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Artificial Fluency. I'm your host, and today I have a question for you. Have you ever been in a situation where someone asked, "Tell me about yourself," and you just froze? Maybe you said something like, my name is, I'm from, and then silence? Well, today we're going to change that forever. By the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to introduce yourself confidently in English, whether you're a beginner or advanced learner. So let's dive in. Before we start, let me tell you something important. A self-introduction is not just about sharing your name and where you're from. It's actually a life skill. Yes, a life skill that can make or break your first impression. Think about it. When you meet someone new at work, at school, or even when traveling, how you introduce yourself determines what people think about you. A weak introduction might make people forget you completely, but a strong, confident introduction, that makes people think, wow, this person is interesting. I want to know more about them. Teaching note. Notice I said make or break. This is a common English expression meaning something can either help you succeed or cause you to fail. And here's the good news. No matter what your English level is right now, whether you're a beginner or advanced, I'm going to show you exactly how to improve your self-introduction, step by step. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. Let's start with B1 level. That's intermediate beginner level. At this level, your goal is to be clear and basic. But here's the secret. Always add one reason for each fact you share. Let me show you what I mean. Don't just say, I like reading. Instead, say, I like reading because it helps me relax. See the difference? You're giving people a reason to connect with you. Let me give you an example. This is Erin. Hi, I'm Erin. I'm from London, and I work as a software engineer. I enjoy my job because I solve interesting problems every day. In my free time, I like running and reading books. Running helps me stay healthy, and reading makes me feel calm. Teaching note. Did you notice how Erin used simple connecting words like and because? These are called conjunctions, and they help your introduction flow smoothly. Without them, you sound robotic. My name is Erin. I am from London. I work as a software engineer. See how choppy that sounds? At B1 level, focus on these connecting words. And, because, but, or, so. They're simple, but they make a huge difference. Now, let me ask you, what's your hobby, and why do you enjoy it? Practice this pattern. I like hobby because reason. Try it right now. Pause the video if you need to. Now, let's move to B2 level. At this level, you want to add more details about frequency, how often you do things, and use richer vocabulary. Instead of simple words like and do, try words like enjoy, prefer, manage, and spend time. And add adverbs like usually, often, actually, and really. Let's hear Erin again, but this time at B2 level. Hi, I'm Erin from London. I work as a software engineer, and I actually really enjoy the challenges that come with it. I usually start my day with a short run because it gives me energy for work. In the evenings, I often read novels, and sometimes I spend hours at the library. Reading really helps me relax and recharge after a busy day. Teaching note. Notice the word actually here. It's a very natural filler word that native speakers use. It doesn't change the meaning much, but it makes you sound more natural and conversational. Also, see how Aaron used recharge? This is a nice metaphor, like recharging a battery, but for your energy. The key at B2 level is to paint a picture of your daily life. Don't just say what you do. Explain when you do it, how often, and how it fits into your routine. At C1 level, things get exciting because now we're talking about personality and real experiences. This is where your introduction stops being just facts and starts becoming a story that people actually want to listen to. At this level, you should describe your personality traits and share specific examples from your life. And here's a pro tip. Use idioms. Idioms make you sound much more natural and advanced. Let me introduce you to Evan, also a software engineer, but listen to how different his C1 introduction sounds. Hi, I'm Evan. I'd say I'm creative and adaptable, qualities that really help in my work as a software engineer. For example, once I had to tackle a major bug just hours before a client demo. It definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone, but it wasn't my first rodeo, so instead of panicking, I stayed calm and managed to fix it just in time. Teaching note. Let's break down those idioms. Out of my comfort zone means in an uncomfortable or challenging situation. It wasn't my first rodeo means this wasn't his first time dealing with this type of problem. He had experience. These idioms add personality and show advanced English skills. If you liked this lesson, don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you can keep improving your English with us. At C1 level, you're not just sharing what you do, you're sharing who you are. Think about your personality traits. Are you creative, organized, adventurous, patient? And then think of a real story that shows this trait in action. Finally, we reach C2 level. Advanced level. At this level, your introduction should flow like a story that people will remember long after meeting you. You want to include your aspirations, achievements, and even something unexpected that makes you memorable. Listen to Aaron one more time, but now at C2 level. Hi, I'm Aaron, a software engineer based in London with over 5 years of experience in developing scalable solutions. Over that time, I've spearheaded several projects that improved our company's systems, and those experiences shaped me as both a leader and a problem solver. Looking ahead, I aspire to move into an architect role where I can have an even greater impact on system design. When I'm not burning the midnight oil on code, you'll find me running through London's parks or lost in a good novel at my local library. One fun fact about me, I once built a program that calculates the best time of day for my coffee breaks. And yes, I still use it every day. Teaching note, burning the midnight oil means working late into the night. Notice how Aaron ended with a fun fact that's related to his profession, but also shows his personality and humor. This makes him memorable. At C2 level, you're weaving together your professional journey, personal interests, future goals, and personality into one cohesive narrative. The goal is to leave people thinking, this person is confident, interesting, and worth talking to. Now, before we finish, let me share the core principles that work at every level. First, always add details and give reasons. Never just state facts. Instead of, I like cooking, say, I love cooking because it's my way of being creative after a long day at work. Second, connect your ideas smoothly. Use words like and, because, but, however, actually, and also. These prevent you from sounding nervous or robotic. Third, let your personality shine through. People connect with people, not with lists of facts. Share what makes you unique, what excites you, what challenges you've overcome. Fourth, practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the more natural you'll sound. Practice with friends, in English class, or even in front of a mirror. Yes, talking to yourself in the mirror actually helps. Teaching note: don't worry about perfect grammar. Native speakers make grammar mistakes too. What matters is making a connection with the person you're talking to. Focus on being clear, confident, and genuine. Remember, mastering the self-introduction is a journey. Whether you're at B1, B2, C1, or C2 level, the most important thing is to practice and gradually add more personality and detail to your introduction. Your homework for today is simple. Record yourself giving a self-introduction at your current level. Then, try to improve it using the tips from the next level up. Post it in the comments. I'd love to hear your introductions. And remember, it's not about perfect English. It's about making a connection with the person you're talking to. Thanks for watching. If this lesson helped you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our English lessons. What topic would you like me to cover next? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep practicing and keep improving your English with us. Imagine this. You put on your headphones, play an English lesson, go to sleep, and wake up speaking perfect English. No studying, no effort. Just sleep and learn. Sounds perfect, right? Well, I have news for you. And you might not like it. Welcome to Artificial Fluency. I'm your teacher, and today we're going to talk about one of the biggest myths in language learning, the idea that you can learn English while sleeping. I'll tell you the truth, explain why it doesn't work, and most importantly, show you what actually does work. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever tried playing English audio while sleeping? Did you wake up understanding more English? Be honest with yourself. The answer is probably no. Today, I'll explain why, using simple, clear English that you can understand. And by the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to use your sleep time properly to help your English learning. Let's start with the big question. Can you really learn English while sleeping? The short answer, no. The long answer, let me explain why. Your brain is amazing, but it's not magic. When you sleep, your brain is doing important work, but that work is not learning new information. Let me teach you some key vocabulary. Attention, focusing your mind on something. Learning needs attention. Sleep has no attention. Conscious, awake and aware. You must be conscious to learn new words. Process, to understand and organize information. Your brain processes information when you're awake. Here's what happens when you sleep. Your conscious mind turns off. Your attention disappears. Your brain stops taking in new information. Think about it this way. If you could learn while sleeping, every baby would wake up speaking perfect English just from hearing their parents talk. But they don't. Why? Because learning needs attention. If this is already helping you understand how learning really works, please hit that like button and subscribe. Have you ever tried sleep learning? Tell me in the comments what happened. Let me give you a simple comparison. Active learning. Awake. You hear a new word. You notice it's new. You think about its meaning. You try to remember it. Your brain stores it. Passive sleeping. Sounds enter your ears. Your brain ignores them. Nothing is stored. You wake up knowing nothing new. Common mistake. I'll just play English all night and learn. Reality. You'll just have poor sleep and learn nothing. Let's talk about what scientists have discovered about learning and sleep. Key vocabulary. Research. Scientific study. Research shows we can't learn while sleeping. Evidence. Proof that something is true. There's no evidence that sleep learning works. Myth. A false belief many people have. Sleep learning is a myth, not reality. Scientists have done many experiments. Here's what they found. Experiment 1. People listened to new words while sleeping. Result? They remembered nothing. Experiment 2. People listened to grammar rules while sleeping. Result? No improvement. Experiment 3. People played vocabulary all night. Result? They were tired and didn't learn. The only thing that happened? People slept badly. Now, let me teach you about noticing. This is crucial. Noticing means you recognize something new or different. It's that moment when your brain says, "Wait, this is important." Example, you hear me say crucial and think, what does that mean? You stop, check the meaning, very important, and try to use it. That is learning, and it only happens when you're awake. Grammar point. Present simple for scientific facts. Sleep helps memory. Always true. Learning requires attention. Always true. The brain needs rest. Always true. Now, sleep is important for learning, just not in the way you think. Sleep helps your brain in 3 ways. 1. Consolidation, making memories stronger. Sleep consolidates what you learned during the day. 2. Organization, arranging information. Your brain organizes new words while you sleep. 3. Connection, linking new with old knowledge. Sleep helps connect new English to what you know. Think of sleep like a librarian organizing books. During the day, you bring new books. During sleep, the librarian organizes them on shelves. Next day, you can find the books easily. But notice, the librarian doesn't create new books. They organize books that already exist. Vocabulary. Consolidate. Make stronger. Sleep consolidates memories. Review. Look at again. Review before sleep for better memory. Retain. Keep in memory. Good sleep helps retain information. Still with me? You're doing great. If you're learning the truth about sleep and learning, subscribe for more honest English lessons. What time do you usually go to sleep? Let me know in the comments. Here's the effective sleep routine for English learners. Before sleep, review new words from today. Read them out loud. Think about their meanings. Make simple sentences. During sleep, no audio. Just peaceful, quality sleep. Let your brain do its work. After waking, review yesterday's words. Try to remember without looking. Use them in new sentences. Let's talk about something important: the people who sell sleep learning programs. Vocabulary for this section: scam, a dishonest plan to get money. Sleep learning courses are often scams. False promise, saying something will happen when it won't. Learn English in 30 nights is a false promise. Waste, use badly or throw away. Don't waste money on sleep learning programs. Red flags to watch for. Learn English in your sleep. No effort required. Fluent in 30 days. Secret method teachers don't want you to know. These are lies. All of them. Real teachers will tell you, learning takes time. Learning takes effort. Learning takes practice. Learning takes attention. But here's the good news. Learning English is absolutely possible. You just need the right approach. Common sales tricks. Scientific breakthrough. It's not. Used by CIA agents. They don't. Subliminal learning. Doesn't work. Reprogram your brain. Impossible while sleeping. Remember this phrase. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now let's talk about methods that actually work. These aren't magic. They're proven. Method 1. Active listening. 10 to 15 minutes daily. Choose interesting content. Listen with full attention. Pause and repeat. Look up new words. Listen again. Vocabulary. Active means doing something with energy and attention. Active listening means full focus. Passive means not doing anything. Passive listening doesn't work. Method 2. The notice, practice, review cycle. Notice. When you hear new English, stop and notice it. Practice. Use it immediately in a sentence. Review. Come back to it tomorrow. Example with the word improve. Notice. Improve means get better. Practice. I want to improve my English. Review. Next day, remember and use it again. Method 4. Spaced repetition. Learn something today. Review tomorrow. Review in 3 days. Review in 1 month. This is how memory becomes permanent. Method 5. Morning and evening routines. Morning, 5 minutes. Listen to English news and repeat one interesting sentence. Learn one new word. Evening, 5 minutes. Review morning's word. Write 3 sentences using it. Say them out loud. Grammar tip. Use will for promises to yourself. I will practice every day. Commitment. I will improve my English. Determination. I will be patient with myself. Self-compassion. Let's create a realistic plan that actually works. Your daily English plan, 30 minutes total. Morning, 10 minutes. Listen to English podcast or video. Write down 3 new words. Practice pronunciation. Afternoon, 10 minutes. Use morning's words in sentences. Have imaginary conversations. Describe what you see in English. Evening, 10 minutes. Review all new words. Listen to something enjoyable. Prepare tomorrow's learning. Before sleep, quick review. 5 minutes max. Then, sleep well. Key phrases for motivation. Progress, not perfection. Every day, a little better. Consistency beats intensity. Small steps, big results. Common mistakes to avoid. Trying to learn too much at once. Not reviewing regularly. Believing in shortcuts. Giving up too soon. Your learning motto: I learn when I'm awake. I strengthen when I sleep. Let's be completely honest. There are no shortcuts to learning English. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. But here's the truth that should encourage you. You can learn English. Millions of people have done it. You can too. You don't need expensive programs, magic methods, sleep learning, special talent. You do need daily practice, attention and focus, patience with yourself, good sleep. Remember, your brain is already amazing. It learned your first language. It can learn English too. You just need to work with your brain, not against it. Final vocabulary review. Attention, focused awareness. Conscious, awake and aware. Notice, recognize something new. Active, engaged and focused. Evidence, proof. Myth, false belief. Your homework. Tonight, don't play English while sleeping. Instead, review what you learned today, 5 minutes. Get good sleep. Tomorrow morning, see what you remember. I guarantee you'll remember more than if you played audio all night. Thank you for spending this hour with me, learning the truth. I know it's not what you wanted to hear. We all want easy solutions. But now you know what really works. If this honest lesson helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear the truth about language learning. Subscribe for more real, practical English lessons. Remember, every English speaker you admire learned the same way, through attention, practice, and time, not through sleeping. You're already on the right path by watching this video actively. Keep going. This is Artificial Fluency, reminding you that real learning happens when you're awake, engaged, and ready to grow. Sweet dreams and active learning.
Quick question. What time did you wake up this morning? Now, here's the real question. What did you actually accomplish before lunch? If you're like most people, you probably checked your phone, answered some messages, maybe watched a video or two, and suddenly it was noon. Sound familiar? Here's the crazy part. You were busy the whole morning, but what did you really do? Today, I'm going to teach you English phrases and vocabulary about time management, but more importantly, I'll show you why being busy and being productive are completely different things. Welcome to Artificial Fluency. I'm your teacher for today's special lesson, where we're tackling two things at once: improving your English and fixing that feeling of where did my day go? Let's dive in.
Let me teach you a really useful phrase in English: spinning your wheels. When a car is stuck in mud, the wheels spin and spin, but the car doesn't move forward. That's what we call spinning your wheels. Lots of action, no progress. Here's how you use it. I was spinning my wheels all day with emails. Or stop spinning your wheels and focus on what matters. Now, why do we spin our wheels? Let me tell you what most people get wrong. They think they need more time. If only I had more hours in the day. But that's not true. Let me prove it to you. Think about the day before a vacation. Suddenly, you can finish a week's worth of work in one day. Why? Because you have a deadline. Because you're focused. Because you're not distracted. The problem isn't time. It's attention. Let me teach you this important distinction. I don't have time really means it's not my priority. I'm too busy really means I'm not organized. I forgot really means it wasn't important to me. Harsh? Maybe. True? Absolutely. Here's a grammar point for you. Notice how I used really means to explain the true meaning? This is a great structure for clarifying in English. When I say X, I really mean Y. That really means. What this really means is, you can use this in any conversation to explain yourself better. Now, let's learn the most important concept about time. Ready? Time is energy. Let me explain with an example. You have 8 hours of work time, but your energy is different throughout the day. In the morning, you might have 100% energy. By afternoon, maybe 60%. By evening, perhaps 30%. So here's the key question. What are you doing with your 100% energy time? Most people waste it. They check social media, read news, answer easy emails. Then, when their energy is low, they try to do important work. No wonder they feel exhausted and unproductive. Let's learn some vocabulary about energy levels. Peak hours, your best energy time. Example, my peak hours are from 9 to 11 a.m. Energy drain, something that takes your energy away. Example, social media is a real energy drain for me. Recharge, to get energy back. Example, I need to recharge with a short walk. Here's a practical tip with English practice. Every morning, ask yourself this question out loud in English. What's my most important task today? Not tasks, task. Singular, one thing. Then say, I will do this during my peak hours. This simple practice improves your English and your productivity. By the way, if you're finding this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe. I create lessons like this every week to help you master English while learning useful life skills. Drop a comment. What time of day do you have the most energy? Now, let me teach you about the power of saying no.
Here's something interesting about English culture. People often feel bad saying no directly. So, we have many polite ways to say it. Let me teach you some. Direct but polite. I'm sorry, I can't commit to that. Unfortunately, that doesn't work for me. I wish I could, but I can't. Softer refusals. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. This gives you time to think. I'm not the best person for this. My plate is full right now. This means you're too busy. Professional ways. I need to prioritize other commitments. That's outside my bandwidth right now. Bandwidth means capacity. I'm at capacity this week. But here's the important lesson. Every time you say yes to something small, you say no to something big. Let me give you an example. You say yes to checking Facebook for just 5 minutes. You say no to reading that English article. You say yes to a meeting that could be an email. You say no to deep work. You say yes to staying up late watching TV. You say no to waking up fresh tomorrow. Notice the grammar pattern here. You say yes to X. You say no to Y. This is a great way to show consequences in English. Try making your own sentences with this pattern. Here's a cultural note. In many English-speaking countries, saying no politely but firmly is respected. People prefer honest no over false yes. Remember this when you're in international settings. Let me teach you a game-changing concept, the Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro is Italian for tomato. The inventor used a tomato-shaped timer. Here's how it works. Work for 25 minutes. Take a 5-minute break. Repeat 4 times. Take a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes. But let's learn the English you need to talk about this. Time block, a scheduled period for specific work. I have a 2-hour time block for studying English. Break it down. Divide into smaller parts. Let's break down this project into smaller tasks. Chunk, a small piece of something bigger. I study English in 30-minute chunks. Batch, group similar tasks together. I batch all my emails into one time slot. Here's a common mistake English learners make. They say, I will study English 2 hours tomorrow. But native speakers more often say, I'll study English for 2 hours tomorrow. Don't forget that for when talking about duration. Another tip, use present continuous for scheduled future activities. I'm studying English at 3 p.m. It's planned. I'm meeting my tutor tomorrow. It's arranged. This sounds more natural than I will study for planned activities. Let me give you a practical example. Instead of saying, I'll improve my English, try this. I'm practicing English for 25 minutes every morning at 8 a.m. See how specific that is? Specific plans become real actions. Now, let's talk about routines. But first, let me clear up some confusion about this word. Routine, as a noun, means your regular pattern of doing things. Routine, as an adjective, means ordinary or boring. These are different. Having a routine, noun, doesn't make your life routine, adjective. In fact, it's the opposite.
Let me teach you phrases about routines. Morning routine phrases. I start my day with first thing in the morning, my morning ritual includes I never skip my morning. Evening routine phrases. I wind down by wind down means relax. Before bed, I always my evening routine helps me. I end my day with here's a grammar tip. When describing routines, we use present simple. I wake up at 6 a.m., not I am waking up. I check my emails after breakfast, not I am checking. But here's where learners get confused. We use present continuous for temporary routines. I'm waking up at 6 a.m. this week. Temporary. I'm checking emails less often these days. Changing habit. Are you learning something new? Great! Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Comment below, what's one part of your daily routine? Write it in English for practice. Let me share a powerful routine formula with you. Host. Here's a profound truth. Your calendar doesn't lie. Where you spend your time shows your real priorities. Let's learn vocabulary about priorities. Top priority. Most important thing. Learning English is my top priority. Back burner. Low priority. Like a pot on the back of the stove. I put social media on the back burner. Make time for. Actively create time for something. I make time for English practice every day. Time sink. Something that wastes lots of time. YouTube can be a real-time sink if I'm not careful. Now, here's an exercise. Complete these sentences honestly. I spend most of my time. I wish I had more time for. I waste time on. Your answers reveal everything. If you spend most of your time on social media but wish you had time for English, there's your problem and your solution. Let me teach you a useful phrase. Vote with your time. In democracies, we vote with ballots. In life, we vote with our time. Every hour is a vote for what matters to you. Here's how to use it. I'm voting with my time by practicing English daily. Common mistake alert. Don't say, I have no time. Native speakers usually say, I don't have time for that. I can't fit that in. My schedule is packed. The phrase, I have no time, sounds too dramatic in everyday English.
Let's make this real. I'm going to teach you a simple system you can start today, the 3-3-3 method. 3 hours of deep work, your important tasks. 3 hours of regular work, emails, meetings, routine tasks. 3 hours for yourself. Exercise, hobbies, learning English for that matter. That's only 9 hours. You still have time for sleep, eating, and relaxing. Here's how to talk about this in English. I dedicate 3 hours to formal. I set aside 3 hours for common. I block out 3 hours for professional. Practice saying, tomorrow I'm blocking out 1 hour for English practice. Here's a fail vocabulary set about time management. Time conscious, aware of time. I'm becoming more time conscious. Deadline driven, motivated by deadlines. I work better when I'm deadline driven. Proactive versus reactive. Proactive is planning ahead. Reactive is always responding to urgencies. Say, I'm trying to be more proactive with my time. Let me leave you with this thought. Time management isn't about squeezing more into your day. It's about putting the right things in the right order. Here's your homework. 3 simple English sentences to practice every morning. What's my one important task today? When will I do it? And what will I say no to? These questions program your brain for success in English and in life. Remember these key phrases from today. Spinning your wheels, busy but not productive. Peak hours, best energy time. Make time for, actively create time. Vote with your time. Show priorities through actions. The truth is, you have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference? Some people use those hours intentionally. Others let those hours use them. Which will you choose? Your English improves the same way, not by finding more time, but by using your time better. Even 15 focused minutes beats 2 distracted hours. Thank you for spending these 20 valuable minutes with me. You chose to invest your time in learning, and that already makes you different from most people. If this helped you, please share it with someone who needs better English or better time management, or both. Subscribe for more lessons that teach English through real-life skills. Remember, you don't need more time. You need more focus. You don't need perfect English. You need consistent practice. This is Artificial Fluency, reminding you that every minute you invest in learning pays you back for life. See you in the next lesson, and this time, you'll be ready because you know how to manage your time. Now go make your next hour count.
Let me guess. You're waiting to practice English until you find the perfect conversation partner, right? Maybe a native speaker? Someone patient? Someone available every day? Well, what if I told you that waiting for a partner is actually slowing down your progress? What if the best conversation partner you'll ever have is yourself? I know that sounds crazy, but stay with me. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how thousands of English learners are becoming fluent by talking to themselves. And no, they're not going crazy, they're getting fluent. Welcome to Artificial Fluency. I'm your teacher, and in the next 20 minutes, you're going to learn solo practice methods that are actually more effective than many conversation classes. Ready? Let's start. First, let's talk about the biggest myth in language learning. You need a partner to practice speaking. This sounds logical, right? Language is about communication, so you need someone to communicate with. But here's what nobody tells you. In a typical language class with 20 students, how much do you actually speak? Maybe 2 minutes? 3 minutes maximum? The rest of the time, you're listening to others make mistakes or waiting for your turn. And what about conversation partners online? Sure, it's nice to chat once a week, but what about the other 6 days? Your mouth is not making English sounds. Your brain is not building those neural pathways. Let me teach you an important phrase. Fluency is a muscle. Just like going to the gym, you need to exercise your English muscles every single day, not just when you have a spotter. Here's the truth that changed everything for me and my students. The person who will help you become fluent is not out there somewhere, it's you. Think about how children learn their first language. Do babies wait for conversation partners? No, they babble to themselves all day long. They narrate what they see. They repeat sounds. They practice alone first, then they communicate with others. You already have conversations in your head all day long, right? You think about what to eat, what to do, what happened yesterday. Those thoughts, that's your practice material. You just need to say them out loud in English. Now, let me teach you the most powerful technique for solo practice, the inner conversation method. Here's how it works. Take the thoughts already in your head and speak them out loud in English. Not whisper, not think, speak. Let me demonstrate. When I wake up, instead of thinking quietly, I say out loud, "Okay, it's 7 a.m. I need to get up. Oh, I'm still tired. Maybe 5 more minutes? No, I should get up now. First, I'll make coffee, then I'll check my emails. What should I wear today? It looks cloudy, so maybe I'll need a jacket." See what I did? I turned my normal thoughts into English speaking practice. Now, let's learn useful phrases for self-talk. For planning. First, I need to. After that, I should probably. Maybe I could. For opinions. I think that. In my opinion. I believe. It seems like. For decisions. I've decided to. I'm going to. I choose. I prefer. Common mistake alert. When talking to yourself, don't say, "I am thinking that." Just say, "I think that." In English, we use simple present for thoughts and opinions, not continuous. Are you already learning something new? Fantastic. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. Have you ever tried talking to yourself in English? Let me know. Now, here's a pro tip. Start in the easiest place, your bedroom or bathroom. These are private spaces where nobody will hear you. Talk about what you see. There's my blue towel. The mirror is a bit dirty. I need to buy more shampoo. This toothbrush is getting old. This isn't just description, it's activation. You're activating vocabulary you already know, but never use. Imagine you're the star of a documentary about your life, and you're also the narrator. This is our next technique. Throughout your day, narrate what you're doing, like David Attenborough describing nature. Now I'm opening the refrigerator. I'm looking for something to eat. There's some leftover pizza, but I think I'll make a sandwich instead. I'm taking out the bread, the cheese, the tomato. This sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You're practicing present continuous, I'm doing. Present simple, I think, I want. Future forms, I'll make. Vocabulary for everyday objects. Let me teach you transition phrases that make your narration smooth. Time transitions. Now I'm. Next, I need to. After this. Meanwhile. At the same time. Cause and effect. Because of this. So I need to. That's why. Therefore. Here's a complete example of narrating making tea. I'm filling the kettle with water. Now I'm turning it on. While it's heating, I'll get a cup from the cupboard. Oh, this one has a small chip. I'll use a different one. The water's boiling now. I'm pouring it over the tea bag. I'll let it steep for 3 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll get the milk from the fridge. Notice how natural that sounds? You're not memorizing dialogues from a textbook. You're describing your real life. Grammar tip. When narrating, you'll naturally use I'm a lot. This is perfect. You're training your mouth to produce this contracted form automatically. Native speakers almost never say, I am, in casual speech. It's always, I'm. Here's where it gets really fun. You know when you watch videos or read news and have opinions? Say them out loud. Watch any YouTube video, pause it, and respond. Interesting point, but I disagree because that reminds me of I've never thought about it that way. In my country, you're training your brain to respond quickly in English, just like in real conversations. Let me teach you agreeing and disagreeing phrases. Agreeing. That's exactly right. I couldn't agree more. That's a good point. I see what you mean. Disagreeing politely. I see your point, but that's interesting. However, I'm not sure I agree because, actually, in my experience, adding information. Also, another thing is, don't forget that. Plus, here's a practical exercise. Watch the news for 2 minutes, then turn it off and explain what you learned. So basically, they were talking about climate change. The main point was that temperatures are rising faster than expected. The scientist said something about ice melting. I think this is really serious because it affects everyone. In my opinion, we need to take action now, not later. See, you're practicing summarizing, expressing opinions, using reported speech, connecting ideas. Common mistake? Don't say, I am agree or I am disagree. Just say, I agree or I disagree. These are verbs, not adjectives in English. This technique might feel strange at first, but it's golden. Have conversations with yourself. Play both parts. Here's an example of me planning my weekend. Me 1. What should we do this weekend? Me 2. I don't know, maybe go to the beach? Me 1. But the weather forecast says rain. Me 2. Oh, right. How about watching that new movie? Me 1. Which one? Me 2. The action movie everyone's talking about. Me 1. Sounds good. What time? This practices questions and answers, natural conversation flow, different sentence types, conversation fillers. Let me teach you conversation fillers that make you sound natural. Thinking sounds. Let me think. Well, actually, showing interest. Really? No way! Seriously? That's interesting. Keeping conversation going. Tell me more. What else? And then go on. This is powerful stuff, right? If you're finding value in this lesson, please subscribe and share it with someone who's struggling with English speaking practice. Comment below which technique sounds most useful to you. Here's your homework. Tonight, before bed, have a 2-minute conversation with yourself about your day. Ask yourself, how was my day? Then answer in detail. Now, let's talk about technology. You have access to the most patient conversation partner ever created, AI. ChatGPT, Google's Bard, or any AI chatbot can practice conversations anytime. Never judge your mistakes. Explain grammar when you need it. Role-play any situation. Here's how to use AI effectively. For conversation practice, Let's have a conversation about topic. Please keep your responses simple and ask me questions. For role play, you are a waiter at a restaurant. I want to practice ordering food. Start by greeting me. For correction, I'm going to tell you about my day. Please correct any major errors after I finish. Let me give you starter prompts for AI practice. Daily conversation. Let's chat about hobbies. Ask me about my hometown. Let's discuss weekend plans. Specific situations. I need to practice a job interview. Help me practice complaining at a hotel. Let's practice small talk at a party. Grammar focus. Let's practice using past perfect. Ask me questions using would. Help me practice conditional sentences. Important tip. Don't just type to AI. Speak your responses out loud first, then type them. This way, you're still practicing speaking. Let me give you a simple 15-minute daily routine that will transform your English. Morning. While getting ready, narrate everything. I'm brushing my teeth. I need to buy more toothpaste. My hair looks messy today. I'll wear my blue shirt. Afternoon. Respond to one piece of content, a video, article, or podcast. That was interesting. I learned that. I agree with, but I think. Evening. Have a self-dialogue about tomorrow. What's my plan for tomorrow? First, I need to. Then I should. If I have time, I'll. That's it. 15 minutes total, but every single day. Remember, fluency is not built in one big session. It's built minute by minute, day by day. Track your progress. Every Sunday, record yourself speaking for 1 minute about your week. Save these recordings. After 1 month, listen to week 1. You'll be amazed at your improvement. Here's a bonus tip. Use transition times. Walking to work, driving, doing dishes, these are perfect moments for English self-talk. You're not wasting time. You're investing it. Let me ask you something. How many years have you been waiting for the perfect practice partner? How many opportunities to speak have you missed because you were alone? Starting today, that ends. You don't need anyone else to become fluent. You need 3 things: your voice, your thoughts, and your commitment. Every sentence you speak out loud is a step toward fluency. Every word you pronounce is training your mouth. Every thought you express in English is rewiring your brain. Remember these key points. Talk to yourself out loud every day. Narrate your actions like a documentary. Respond to content you consume. Have self-dialogues about real topics. Use AI for structured practice. The best time to start? Right now. After this video ends, don't go silent. Keep the English going. Describe what you're going to do next. Express your opinion about this lesson. Plan your day out loud. You are not crazy for talking to yourself in English. You are clever. You are taking control. You are becoming fluent on your terms, on your schedule. Your English journey doesn't depend on finding the right person. It depends on being the right person, someone who practices daily, speaks boldly, and never gives up. Thank you for spending these 20 minutes with me. This is just the beginning. Every day you'll get a little better, a little more confident, a little more fluent. Remember, the best conversation partner you'll ever have is already with you. It's you. So start talking. This is Artificial Fluency, reminding you that fluency is not a destination, it's a daily practice. And that practice starts with your next sentence. Now, go talk to yourself in English. See you in the next lesson.